Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk to you about the greatest story, Dungeons and Dragons story of 2023, which is Legends of Vox Machina Season 2, which you can watch right now on Amazon Prime. Spoilers for all of Legends of Vox Machina Amazon Prime television show right here. Let's go forward. Today we're going to talk about Brimscythe and the death of Brimscythe, which was caused by Vox Machina, the adventuring team. Okay? And we're going to talk about the concept of kill, the concept of murder, the concept of slay. And we're going to talk about whether Brimscythe was killed, murdered, or slain. And the reason we're going to talk about this is Matthew Mercer is the greatest champion of Dungeons & Dragons today. And he is a Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback author, and he works closely with the Dungeons & Dragons design team to create one of the amazing Dungeons & Dragons settings, which is Exandria. And all of Legends of Vox Machina takes place within Exandria, the D&D canon setting. Okay? So, fundamentally, logically, by narrative logic and lore, Legends of Vox Machina is thoroughly 100% a Dungeons & Dragons story. All right, let's go forward. Okay, in my humble opinion. All right. So basically, Matthew Mercer is a very serious guy. He is good friends with Satine Phoenix. Satine Phoenix is a woman who, she had a career in the adult entertainment industry, and when she was done with that, she was like, hey, I want to do something a little bit more meaningful and more purposeful, and she moved into being a dungeon master, right? Well, Matthew Mercer, he honors Gary Gygax to this day. It's very important to him that Gary Gygax is honored in his work. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm going to point you right over the video where Matthew Mercer with Satine Phoenix goes and visits the home of Gary Gygax. And he put his hand on the wall. And if you look at this, both Satine Phoenix and Matthew Mercer, they look at this journey, right, to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, almost as a pilgrimage. It really, actually, and if you think I'm exaggerating, take a look at this, right? They literally put their hands on the wall and are and try to get the power out of this is a pilgrimage for them. They understand that there's history, right? And so Matthew Mercer has done this incredible work he really has worked hard to honor Gary Gygax in his work. And that's why we're going to talk about Brimscythe's death today from the perspective of kill, murder, slay, right? And we're going to talk about the fate of Brimscythe because there's a deep philosophical question here. It's a question about death. It's a question about life. It's a question about good versus evil. It's a question about consequences. All of these visited on the Vox Machina group, right? And Matthew Mercer has told this incredibly Gary Gygax honoring tale, and it resonates with history and power and philosophy and love and passion. And this is why I say D&D forever. I say D&D beyond. D&D beyond prejudice. D&D beyond persecution. D&D beyond your petty preferences. And never, ever, ever should there be D&D be gone. And I stand against everyone who has ever put forward the hashtag D&D be gone. And the reason I don't want D&D to be gone is I want a season 3 of Legends of Vox Machina. And right now, guess what? D&D is the heart of Vox Machina. And if any one of those people under the persecution banner, D&D be gone, the banner of the persecutor, right? If any of them get their way, Vox Machina will be gone. No one will be allowed to claim the title of Dungeon Master. Every book you have will be burned in the physical. That has already started. I got a video that they are already physically burning. There are people under the banner of D&D be gone who are already burning physical D&D books. One of my videos literally has evidence, as the thumbnail. Go check it out, right? And burning digital and physical books, right? It's already started, right? I'm telling you. So Brimscythe means a lot to me. Matthew Mercer means a lot to me. Dungeon mastering means a lot to me. And Legends of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime. If D&D is gone, we lose it all. We lose Matthew Mercer. We lose dungeon mastering. We lose Legends of Vox Machina. And guess what? The people who are looking to tear down Dungeons & Dragons have done jack all nothing to replace it. right? There is no OSE. There's no Old School Essentials show. There's no Pathfinder show to watch, right? The thing they're trying to tear down, there's no replacement, right? And there are no OGL 1.0 creator shows. There are no OSR shows. There are no orc shows. What they want to destroy, they have not done anything to replace. And they want to destroy it before they've done even a thing to copy it, let alone replace it. Right? Let's talk about Brimscythe's death. Let's talk about this concept of death that echoes right down from Gary Gygax, right through Lorraine Williams, right through Ryan Dancy, right through Robert Hainsue, right through Christopher Perkins, right through Matthew Mercer, straight to you and me. Right? We are talking about the crafting of a story that is 50 years old. Right? Because that's what you're looking at with Vox Machina, the greatest Dungeons & Dragons story of 2023. Let's get into it. Brimscythe, was he killed? Was he murdered? Was he slain? Okay? It's a great question. I'm going to give you my answer. So if you ask the citizens of Exandria, they will tell you, oh, hey, Vox Machina killed Brimscythe, that evil ancient blue dragon, right? They killed him. They did a great job, right? Grog and Pike Trickfoot and Vex and Vax and Trinket and Scanlan and Percy DeRollo, and Keyleth. Woo! They put him in the dirt, right? And we harvested his corpse, right? Took his bones out, mashed it into potions, took all of his blood, sold it to the wizards, right? Took his eyes, mounted him in some special places. We harvested his corpse. He was killed, right? And any citizen of Exandria will tell you with a smile on their face that Vox Machina killed, right, Brimscythe, okay? Now, go ask a member of Chroma Conclave, right? Go ask Thordak. Go ask Umbrasyl. Go ask Vorogol, right? Go Vratian. They'll tell you. You know what they're going to tell you? They will say, here's what Thordak would say. How many are going to use his voice? Here we go. Here's my Matthew Mercer impersonation. They murdered him. They murdered, Brimscythe. He was murdered. The Chroma Conclave will tell you, and that's why I'm not a voice actor and Matthew Mercer is. So, they will tell you that Brimscythe was murdered. The Chroma Conclave would say, hey, Keyleth and Grog and Scanlan and Vex and Vax and Trinket, right? They will tell you straight out, right? Oh, and Percy DeRollo, that Brimscythe was straight murdered by Vox Machina, right? And they had no right to murder him. And they might have a point, right? Like Vox Machina, are they heroes? They said it from the gate. They're like, we don't know if we're heroes or not, right? And they could have exiled him. They could have frozen him into it. They could have captured him in a gem to be stored for all time, you know? They could have petrified him, right? But they took Brimscythe's life. They took his life, right? And guess what? In season 2, episode 1, at least 100, maybe 1,000 citizens of Exandria were straight wrecked, dead, because of the actions of Vox Machina, right? And every member of the Chroma Conclave will tell you that Brimscythe was murdered, right? And they might be right? Let's talk about slain, right? Was he slain? Did Grog slay him? Did Keyleth slay him? Did Vex and Vax slay him? Did Trinket slay him? Did Percy DeRollo slay him? Did Scanlan slay him? Right? Well, they did take his life, right? And they would tell you, we slayed, right? Brimscythe. Now, here's where we get to the right and the wrong of it. I don't know yet whether Vox Machina murdered Brimscythe. I actually think Chroma Conclave kind of has a point, right? Like, they were like, hey, y'all's rolled at us, man. Y'all's killed our blue member, right? How can we even call ourselves the Chroma Conclave? We ain't got a blue member, right? Like, they, Vox Machina really made, they took a cost, out of Chroma Conclave, right? So I don't know yet. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind completely on whether he was murdered or not. But I can tell you this. Killed is wrong. 100% wrong. And here we get it, right? If you talk to adventurers, right? They know the price. They know what's happening. They know what is really going on in the world, right? And they will tell you, adventurers will say, you don't kill a dragon. You don't kill it. You kill a chicken, and then you eat it. But you don't kill a dragon. Slay is the right word, right? And they had to use magic. They had to sacrifice, literally, their blood, sweat, and tears, right? Grog lost, like, chunks of meat off his body, man. Grog came very close to death in fighting Brimscythe. All of them, and none of them, not a single one of them, left the fight with Brimscythe unscarred, right? Unchanged, right? Untraumatized, right? It was a brutal fight, right? And here's the point. No one kills a dragon. They slay it. The word was made for dragon, okay? You slay a dragon. You get something that was forged that was forged 1,000 years ago, and that took 300 dwarves to make it, right? When you come and it showed that. It actually showed that part, right? When they went to get the weapons they would need to slay a dragon, they went and got literally a pile of magic items, right? You need generations of investments to take the life of a dragon. You slay a dragon. You do not kill a dragon, right? And actually, if you go over onto the wiki, right, and you will see, Brimscythe was killed. No, dragons are not killed. They are slain, right? And you're like, Scott, it's a very small difference. No! We are here, right? Like, we are dungeon masters. We care about the difference between words, and we are the last people on the planet to care what words mean, right? And that's why Dungeons & Dragons must go beyond prejudice. Dungeons & Dragons must D&D beyond prejudice. D&D beyond persecution. D&D beyond this repugnant banner on Twitter that says D&D be gone. I will not see D&D gone in my lifetime. I will stay as a stalwart remnant, and I will not rest. And I will absolutely not allow D&D to be destroyed and turned to ash the way all these people on Twitter are calling for. There is something special here, right? It teaches us the difference between kill, murder, and slay, right? There's still a question. Did Vox Machina rightfully slay Brimscythe, or was Chroma Conclave right that Brimscythe was murdered, right? The one thing we do know is you cannot ever say that a dragon is killed. They are too great. They are too epic. A Dungeons & Dragons dragon is slain, right? Or it may have been murdered, right? That last question, that's still open. All we walk away with learning from this conversation is that the citizens of Exandria are wrong. Brimscythe was never killed. He was either slain by Vox Machina or he was murdered by Vox Machina. I think we will know the answer before season 2 of Vox Machina, the greatest Dungeons & Dragons story told in 2023. Before it's done, we will know whether Brimscythe was murdered or slain. All we know now is he absolutely was not killed, right? And that is my humble opinion. Every word that you just heard is my humble opinion. I am very eager to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.